everybody. Welcome to TK and Drinks. I'm TK, and this is inside the Mead Makers Studio, where we speak with mead makers from around the world, explore the world of mead making, and talk about some of the best meads around. Tonight, we are trying to speak with the cats from Fox and Raven Meadery, but we've been having some seriously frustrating technical difficulties. We've all switched our phones, we've switched computers, we've tried everything, but basically flying to Texas and doing this thing live in person, which I'm not too far from doing here. This doesn't freaking connect, which it looks like it's not. Yes, go live. I promise I want to. You're the ones who make this thing happen. Instagram, like we need you to work with us here. I don't know, maybe this is, I'm assuming you guys are trying on the computer now, so maybe yeah, that's definitely not working again. Another invite sent out. I'm getting ready to start slugging this mead down just to take the edge off. There we go. Hey, what the heck happened?
This time is the charm.
Hey, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Well, we're going. This is gonna be my second round where I cannot see my guests. I cannot see you guys at all. So I'm gonna have to just picture your guys' beautiful smiling faces. I know what you look like. I've seen you before.
Is that a threat?
Is that a threat? Everybody, well, welcome Bryce and Savannah from Fox and Raven Mead. They're out of Carrollton, Texas. Thank you guys for being here today. I always appreciate when you guys join me.
Yeah, we appreciate you too. Thanks for having us.
No, thank you guys for popping in. Looks like we definitely got some more people joining us today. So finally, as I was saying earlier, I am enjoying, or will hopefully be enjoying, one of your guys' meads here. This is the Blood for Gold. I love the name. I love the artwork. I'm assuming this is another one of yours, Savannah, because I'm pretty sure you do all your guys' artwork, correct?
Yep, I do all of it. So yeah, that's mine.
Yes, that is freaking awesome. So let's go over this one real quick while I'm getting my face all up in the nose here.
Yeah, and we've got a bottle member here too, so yay!
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So walk me through this one. So what was the concept for this? What do we use for, fruit and primary, secondary, all that jazz? Give me the penny tour or the nickel tour.
This is a flavor combination that Savannah just kind of blurted out one time. She's like, you'll really go with pineapples, hibiscus. And it was like, oh, yes. Yeah. So yes. We've made several trials with that, and then we eventually found the mix that we liked. But everything is in primary. The only thing that's in secondary is just back sweetening.
Oh,
so
wow.
Okay. Yeah, we made a tea with the hibiscus, and then we used, I think it was 3 pounds of pineapple per gallon. So there was a lot of pineapple that went into this.
I was going to say it's very pineapple forward on the nose. It has that almost like when you open a can of pineapple juice or something, has that very sweet and acidic and citrusy right in your nose. It very much has that characteristic to it.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite meads. Just as far as a stamp goes for us, we always have a bottle of this somewhere in our house.
Oh, excellent. All right, so not picking up much on the hibiscus. That is a pretty light flavor, and my nose is kind of stuffed, so forgive me if it's not all the way there, but I'm definitely going to try it out. Again, I get a lot of that pineapple. You get the that you can almost taste like the fibers of the pineapple in there. I'm expecting it to have this juicy bite to it. I get the tea, that kind of drying, tea tannic presence in there in the back end, a little bit floral in there. I have to say this is definitely one of my favorite ones from you guys so far.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, this is kind of like a staple for us. There's always a bottle somewhere around, and if not, I'm in trouble. But yeah, and we did this one mid-sweet. We messed around with that, going too sweet and even dry, and it just worked out mid-sweet. The final gravity on this was 10-15, so it's very middle of the road for sweetness.
Yeah. Well, and I think, to be honest with you, I think it drinks a little above that. I would say it definitely drinks a little on the sweeter side than it does on the drier side. But I know you guys are always very much dialed in, um, very scientific with your methods of producing those, desired like final gravities and your, specified alcohols and whatnot.
Yeah,
So,
'cause we
um,
like to stay on the drier side and just balance nicely, but not always. We'll go sweeter sometimes if the brew calls for it, but we usually do test batches of, I don't know, at least 3 test batches before we get to a final product. And this one, I think we did about 6 or 7 through the years. And
gotcha.
this is one of the flavors I ever made as a home brewer. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
just, like I said, it's just. So.
Yeah. We gotta have at least 3 test batches and 1 fight.
I'm sure
She's
no
not
mead
wrong.
comes to. Yeah, as I say, I'm sure no mead comes to fruition without at least 1 fight in there.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's hilarious.
No fight, it's kind of a mediocre mead. So.
Oh, jeez.
It up.
No, I like it. I'm here for this one. There was one I was lucky enough to get to visit you guys at the end of last year, and you shared a strawberry rhubarb one with us. Is there any chances that one's going to be seeing a commercial batch?
Will eventually, but right now it's not in the book. Like, that one is one of my favorites I've done. I only did 1 batch of that, but it works so well that it's like, yeah, it's definitely on the list to do. But we only have 2 tanks, so we have to really pick and choose what we want to do.
Yeah, maybe next spring, maybe for a spring season.
Oh, rhubarb's a winter thing, like a fall winter thing.
Maybe for next spring.
Maybe you guys make it a spring thing. I love that. I do what I want. I love it. So what's been new with the Cats at Fox and Raven? A pickle mead? No, God damn it, Carlos. No pickle meads. Keep your pickle meads out of my
That's actually
face.
the next thing that's going in our tank. Is
I know.
pickle mead.
I know you guys waxed on about your pickle meads.
Yeah, but to be fair,
I'll try it.
And you're like, okay, I get it now, and I actually kind of like it. I was a little afraid, and I remember you saying this when you had it. So
I know, and it's just so like it just brings out this thing like I shouldn't like it. It's
that's the thing. But it's like, okay, there's a lot of people who have had like pickle beers and all that, and that's they're hit or miss, and a lot of times they're made with a sour yeast, and I'm not a big fan of sour, so I use like an English
don't give away your secret.
Like bitter beer yeast. No, I'm just saying, like, instead of, I'm not going to give all the secrets away in that one.
Oh, well,
She will murder me if I do.
You can stop talking anymore. You're fine.
Exactly.
But I mean, yeah, it's just, instead of the sour yeast, we used something else, and it just works very well to get that pickle flavor there. And it was very interesting because this was Savannah's recipe, the pickle one.
Right.
And like, got the pickle taste without using pickles and without using vinegar because those are not permitted to be used
honestly,
in wineries.
That was another one we had a fight on. What was it that I was like, no, needs to, like, I think I wanted to make it more sour.
Yeah,
he was against it, and then I told him to shut up.
And then it worked out. It's delicious.
But
so.
again, like at least 3 batches in 1 fight.
Yeah.
Best meads ever.
I love it. That's so awesome. So you got the pickle mead that's coming out. Apparently everybody's excited for this one, you guys included.
Oh yeah.
This one I'm loving this one. You guys have sent me another one that I tried, that tropical snowstorm, which was that mango. I think I got the flavor when I typed it out wrong. It was mango. It was also pineapple, right?
Yeah, there's pineapple, passion fruit, mango. There's a boatload of lactose. Like, there's a stupid amount of lactose in there. Vanilla bean, and then a lemon myrtle tea. So
that's what it was, a lemon myrtle. I've never heard of that.
I had neither. This was because we worked in collaboration with Sam Makes Mead, or his meadery name is Arcane Alchemist. We worked in collaboration with him. We worked on the recipe together. He was the one who came up with lemon myrtle, and I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Just see what happens. And what it is, like an herby, lemony, very kind of grassy kind of flavor. And it's a very common tea to the right people. So I guess I would make it uncommon. But it is, yeah. Anyway.
In certain niche circles, it's very popular.
But yeah, he said throw that in just like to see what would happen. And it honestly, it kind of rounded out everything. Like, it kind of is the backbone of the whole thing. So, because it gives a very lemony or citrusy taste while also giving it a little bit of herbaceous taste. So it's the one thing that kind of held all those flavors together.
Definitely had like a unique characteristic that I wasn't quite able to put my finger on, and so it was definitely that lemon myrtle. I didn't see, now I need to go out and try some. So I'm certainly happy with the way that one came out. That was definitely a very pleasant take on a dreamsicle, because in my opinion, the dreamsicle is one of those things that's kind of like, I don't know, like a peanut butter and jelly meat. It's cool, like, but it's kind of played out, you know. I mean, played out. I've never made one, and I can't make anything even close to that awesome. But it just seems like they're, you know, you see a lot of them, I guess.
You do see a lot of them because it seems like an easy flavor, but the whole different one with that, again, this goes back to Sam's idea. In the UK, they have a type of creamsicle called a Solara, and that is a tropical flavored one. So that's what this formula was based on, was tropical fruits, not orange. So that's what gave it,
Got you. Yeah, and like I said, I'm here for all of that. See here, text. What was it?
I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. You're right.
I was just going to read Carlos's comments here. How is the barrel mead, or is it hush hush for now? Apparently you guys have some sort of barrel mead, because I don't think I do.
Yeah. So we're about to come out with our first barrel-aged mead, so really excited. Carlos helped us out with that. He lent us the barrel.
Cool.
So it's
cool.
Yeah, really excited. It's inspired by our trip to Washington, which was kind of the trip that finalized us like taking the mead thing and making it like a business. Like we were kind of like thinking about it, but when we went up there, we visited Hierophant Meadery, and we talked to Jeremy up there, and got a lot of inspiration. There's a lot of inspiration from like just the nature out there. And then I actually tried a Marionberry scone for the first time.
Yes.
And we bought one because I was like, oh, I don't think I'll like it. I don't like blueberries or anything like that. And then, like, you know, long story short, I ended up eating the whole thing. And
I got one bite.
Bryce got none of it.
I got one bite. I was like, here, try some. And then, like, she Kirby.
Get away from my scones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And, like, we had already driven away from that shop, so there was, like, no way to go back. So, poor Bryce, he didn't get that. Anyway, this mead is, like, kind of, like, inspired by that whole trip. So it's a Bochet honey. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right. Yes, keep going.
It's Bochet honey, and it is Marionberry. It's aged in a whiskey barrel, and it is back sweetened with meadow foam. And we've already pulled some out when it was a little bit younger, and man, we had to like stop ourselves from drinking all of it.
Yeah,
I'll bet.
So really excited about that one. So we're finalizing the label design, which is it's Deception Path from Whidbey Island, if anybody's familiar with that area. I put that on the label. And
right.
So here in about a month, we're hoping, like, fingers crossed, that should be about the timeline. But yeah, that just went out in our newsletter. So if you're with the newsletter, you probably already like saw a little tidbit about it. So it's coming.
That was a small barrel. It was roughly 12 gallons, so there will be a very limited supply of that one.
Got you.
We did eventually buy some bigger barrels, so we'll have some more stuff coming down the line. Yeah. But just for right now, that's going to be the next big one coming out.
Yeah.
So is this going to be released as an unofficial collab with Texas Longhouse Mead? Is this just kind of like a behind-the-scenes collab? How's that all working out? We got questions here in the comments.
Well,
and I'm
it's
curious
not really
as well.
a collab because Carlos just lent us the barrel. So
gotcha.
He didn't help with the formula or anything like that.
He did help with some taste testing.
Yes. He did the heavy lifting there.
Yes.
He's definitely going to get a bottle from us as a thank you for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you guys,
it's not an official collab, but you can bet that as soon as Carlos gets open, well, not as soon, but whenever he's open for it, we will definitely do a collab of some sort together. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think everybody is going to be wanting those bottles. So this barrel aged one, are you going to do 375 bottles? Because I know a lot of the stuff you guys do is in 500 or 750s.
Yeah, we are. I'm super excited about the.
Yeah, we got the bottles already. I know you can't see, but it's the tall, skinny guys. So.
Oh, the olive oil looking bottles.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are sexy looking bottles. Everybody that uses those, I always, put something fire in them usually.
I mean, we looked around, it's various 375s, and like I like the shape of some, but then when you see them in person, you're like, this just it seems small because I mean it is, but the tall bottle kind of gives you an illusion that it's actually a little bit bigger.
Right.
So, yeah.
It makes it easier to spend money on 12 ounces of liquor when you're when it has a cool, sleek, sexy bottle like that. You know, imagine trying to buy beer bottles. It's like, hey, this beer bottle, yeah, how much is that? $27.
Yeah. Like, no.
Like, hey, let me get a 6-pack of these. How much are those? Let's talk about how much they are individually before we start talking about 6-packs.
The bottle is very exciting. I'm a little
Yes, thank you, Steven.
I have to like figure out how to change my design.
That's the right type of bottle, the Bellissima bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Steve, that's Brian. Yeah. Thank you very much, there, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, those are some slick, sexy bottles and stuff. So you got it going in there. Do you have a label design for it? Obviously can't see it, but do you have a label for it already, or a name, or can we know any of that?
Yeah. So the name is Whidbey. We just went with Whidbey because the name of the island we were visiting up there in Washington. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it. This is a very poor print of the label. So there's Deception Pass. This is my original art, and it's got a little bit of design work on there. But again, this like aspect ratio of the label was designed for our regular bottles before we decided to go with small skinny ones. So now I get to try to figure out how to put this on that.
Yeah.
So
how
that's
to scale up your artwork.
Yeah.
Or
it's
scaling
more like cutting off half the design, unfortunately. But
it works.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work.
You're so confident. You're like, it'll work.
I believe in you.
Look at it like it's a security feature. You only get to stick 40% of the image on there when somebody tries to claim it as yours. It's like, no, I got the real artwork, motherfucker.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, very cool. I'm excited about this one. We have somebody here, Stephen Clifford, was asking, he needs that to be shipped to Michigan. Well, first of all, I don't think anybody can ship to Michigan. They're kind of like on the Vino banned list, or they put themselves on the Vino banned list. But do you guys have plans to be on Vino Shipper anytime soon, or are you already? I can't remember.
Yeah, we are on Vino Shipper.
Yeah, so you guys have been for a hot minute, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got all the base states. We've been kind of going back and forth on adding California because I know we've had some requests for that. It's just that we're trying to see if it's worth it. So maybe adding California soon, but we have like the base states on Vino Shipper, and if you want,
get, like, 38 states. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's all on our FAQ on our website, and I need to repin it, but it's usually pinned to the top of our Instagram as well, like all the states that we ship to.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if it's their base one, I mean that's well over half. I mean it's a good majority of the states, and unfortunately, it's always the state's fault, not Vino Shipper's fault, that they can't ship to Michigan and stuff like that.
Yeah. I sympathize because honestly, Texas until not that long ago, it
was until COVID.
Yeah, you couldn't ship anything here. So I totally understand frustrations of states not being able to get anything because it used to be us, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be like, that'd be really cool, and then it's like, nope, can't get it shipped here. I'm like, why not?
Yeah, see, being in Arizona, I didn't have to deal with it. I didn't even really consider, what other people were having to deal with outside. I was just so, wrapped up in my own stuff. But yeah, that's absolutely atrocious that there's those states that, don't allow that. And then there's some that even like really stifle, wineries and meaderies and breweries within their own state, even, it seems like.
There are.
Which is really unfortunate. So we got your first barrel-aged mead coming out. It's got to be coming close to your guys' like 1-year anniversary. It's either just passed or coming up here shortly, right?
Just passed.
As
far as like when we first we were counting our anniversary when we had our first batch ready and we actually were able to sell. So I think that was
it was late August.
Yeah, late August, early September.
Yeah.
So it's about so how was your first year? Was it everything you wanted to be? Was it everything you expected?
I think that's a little bit different. I think I was strangely optimistic about our business model, which is like not having a tap room, going out to markets, trying to sell like bars and stores and things like that. I I'm not as far as long as I'd like to be, but when I talk to other people and I talk to the people who own business and stuff, and I kind of, go give them the behind the scenes and like financials and things like that, they try to reassure me and say, actually, you're doing really good. So I'll just have to take their word for it. I mean, honestly, we've learned a lot. We've met a lot of awesome people, other vendors that go to these markets and things like that. It's become kind of a family. We see our friends and stuff like that. It's really cool. And we've learned a lot from them. And I think we've been around now where we see newbies coming into markets and we're able to teach them things too, which is kind of cool.
It's nice.
Well,
we've all
speaking. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
Speak. See, not being able to see, I can't read visual cues. Damn it, this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, we're invisible.
Woo, I'm assuming you're doing something cool and special. Yeah. All right.
Or something offensive, and you would never know.
And I wouldn't. Maybe. Well, I mean, when I watch the replay and have to edit it, I'll find out. So I guess I'll find out later. But what I was going to say is, we got a question coming in from Stephen Clifford. He's a guy I've talked to a few times. And he is getting ready to start his journey with the TTB and all that stuff. So what is one of those tips or tricks that you've learned or something in the last year that you would want to pass on to somebody who is, starting on that journey?
Okay. So for me, I want to say it's the taxes. There's more of them than you think there are.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because there is the federal production tax, which we didn't make that enough last year to basically qualify to file for that. So
yeah.
We didn't have to pay anything last year, which is great. But then we also have state taxes, which are due every month. That's based on how much you sell, not produce, sell, which is great.
Right.
But they still want to know how much you actually produce that month. So that's 2 taxes right there. You also have sales tax. So everything you sell has to be taxed, and you have to collect that and pay that quarterly. Yeah. So we've been watching that steadily go up, which is
it's
fun.
Good.
It's good. It means we're making money, which is good. But
right.
The last
that's like through your LLC, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The last quarterly tax bill was $1,000, so that was fun. Yeah. But that's also good because that means we're doing.
I say it's a reflection though of how much you guys are making and selling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's so funny because my number one tip is to consider the shipping thing. I think if I could have gone back, if I had known back then what I know now, my number one tip is if you think you're going to be getting a lot of shipments, try to find a space that has a loading dock, because if you don't have that, every time you get a shipment of pallets, like for bottles or ingredients, things like that, you're going to be paying extra $200 to $300 for a lift gate. So you can save that to. Yeah.
Or that, yeah.
Or we don't have the space for a forklift. Right. So I mean, if you guys do, or that, I guess that's the other option, but that seems expensive as well.
They are.
And so.
I mean, there's no cheap way out of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the easiest thing to do is to find a place that potentially has that already, and you already are paying the rent on it anyway. So that's my number one tip, because every time we have to order something and they're like, do you want a lift gate? And I have to hit yes and then see how much it costs. I'm just like,
it's always more.
And me, the decorator, I'm like, I could have bought curtains with that money.
Right. So yeah, Brian brings up a good.
No, curtains.
Brian brings up a good point here. He says he feels like says I feel like meat is tough because you have 2 jobs. Not only do you have to make a great quality product, but then you also have to do the education part too. Unlike beer, for the most part. It's not like you can just stand around a grocery store all day and answer questions with people, which is, I mean, kind of what you guys do when you're at the farmer's market. I'm sure you guys answer a plethora of questions at the different farmer's markets. And anybody that doesn't know, who should go follow Fox and Raven there on Instagram if you're not already for some reason. These cats are at farmer's markets on I would say at least 2 to 3 a weekend or during the week or whenever you guys have the chances to do it. You guys are always at markets.
Yeah,
that's how we make our money.
We had 4 markets last weekend. We had Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, and then Sunday.
Yeah, we were pooped.
But yeah.
Oh, Savannah, just so you're counting, this is 3 glasses, by the way. Thank you.
I'm on number 2 on my side, so we're good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would say it's true. Education is definitely a challenge, but I will say that is a benefit of going to the markets, whereas you might just have to let the paragraph that you put on the back of a bottle speak for your product if you just have it in stores. We have the benefit of speaking to individuals, alleviating some of their fears and their misconceptions. And then also, we are a little bit different in that we tend to be on the drier side. So a lot of people who say, oh, I don't like mead because it's too sweet.
Right.
Sometimes we can get them to like try something again, and they end up actually like liking it, purchasing. And then we have a lot of repeat customers, which is really cool.
Good. We do.
We're getting to know people, not like I said, not just in the vendor community, but also our repeat customers, was awesome. You see what they like, what they buy. They tell us they told their friends about it. So it's really cool. I think this is the second best thing to us having a tap room. It's like, because we're building a community, even though we don't have the space yet. And I know that once we get to that point, we're going to bring all those people with us. So that's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, where your production facility is located isn't necessarily, I mean, you have room for a tap room. Is that where you're planning on putting it? But it's not really like in the, there's not like other things around there like to help support. There's not like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of restaurants or other breweries or anything.
No. And honestly, the place we're renting right now for our production facility, they had told us that they did not want a tap room at all. The other challenge we have, of course, is that we're both working full-time still, so there's not really a way to have, somebody manage the tap room at this time.
Gotcha.
So we need to be at a point where one of us can do this full-time, and then we'll be able to move to the tap room. And it may not necessarily be in this area. Yeah. It may be slightly outside of this area, but it'll be somewhere in Dallas,
Very cool. And apparently there's always a guest tap at Carlos's place. I'm sure he's going to have many rotating other Texas meaderies at his place.
Oh yeah. Cool. That'd be great. I was going to hit him up about that after he got it up and going, but let him do his thing for a little bit. Because we did the same thing. We still haven't got all the flavors out that we want, but that's okay. We'll get there. But you want to get your own stuff out for a little bit before you start bringing other stuff in. So.
Oh, absolutely. And
your thing out there, but either way, if he wants us day one, I'll give him a keg, sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn down sales. Hell, man. I mean, I've been to so many different breweries opening days where they actually do have guest taps from other stuff, just because inevitably somebody's going to bring a friend that's got to be all sorts of have some sort of attitude or something. So I could see him definitely bringing an established meadery on there. Not to say he doesn't have any establishment in his own right, but I mean, you guys are tried, true, sold, like you're past your first anniversary. So I could see him bringing something like that on board to help help move some sales along as well.
Yeah.
See, Tony down in Mexico, my buddy's asking, are farmers markets expensive? Craft markets here are getting out of hand expensive. So I don't know what out of hand expensive down there for him is, but I could imagine.
Yeah, it depends on the business that puts on the market, because the markets themselves are businesses themselves. So our bread and butter is a market program that has now 8 locations, and they charge $40 a market. So that's not bad. That's actually really nice. There's others in this area that go upwards to 150, and I'm not even going to look at that. That's crazy to recover that and make more on top of that, just to break even.
Now, is that a flat rate, or is that you have to pay that and then also give them a percentage on top of that? Because I know that's how it works in the food truck world. A lot of times it's an entry fee and then a percentage of sales.
It depends on the market.
So far, we haven't done any taking a percentage. I think we prefer the flat rate.
Yeah.
I know we've done some cheaper markets, and we've tried, every once in a while we'll try something that's a little bit more expensive. What I really try to do is make sure that I feel like we might be a good fit, and then see how it goes from there.
Right.
But I can only think about 2 instances where we just barely broke even, or there was only one time I think we actually
only one time that we lost money. One time we broke even.
That's fucking impressive.
Yeah, that's a bit of a story. So long story short, it was a new market. They were looking for vendors. They reached out and they're like, oh yeah, cool. So we got with them, got all our ducks in a row, went to the market, and then the health inspector starts walking around. It's like, okay, we're alcohol. That doesn't apply to us. We'll be fine.
Because we had our permits. We have to apply for a temporary permit. We have everything taken care of.
Right.
And the health inspector comes by, so like, what are you guys serving? It's like, nothing. We're selling alcohol. And then she like points to our cooler, which we keep the samples like that we pour chilled and everything.
Right.
And she's like, those are samples, so you're feeding people. Therefore, you need a food permit. And we're like, what? But this is alcohol. It's not required. And she's like, it is in this city.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like a food handler's card type of thing?
Yeah, and we had to pay a one-day fee of $50 for that, and since it was the same day, we had to pay an extra $20, so it was $70 for that, just so we could.
That was like a and since it was a new market, there wasn't really a lot of foot traffic. Nobody really knew about it yet.
Sure.
Yeah, that was the time we lost money.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a learning experience. I mean, that's how you learn by doing. You know, so you don't know what you don't know.
The fact that you're only you can name the one time when you had where you were in the red at an event, I think is pretty damn impressive. So I would have to applaud you on that. And I couldn't remember if you said earlier, are you in any physical locations yet, or are you guys only selling at the markets and through your through the production facility, like to go?
We've just started dipping our toes into that. So we just had a couple of kegs over at Guitars and Growlers at Flower Mound in Richardson.
Love that name.
We are.
Right?
They're pretty cool. Like.
I really enjoyed the vibe of the place.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we are currently on tap at Outfit Brewing in Dallas, which I'm drinking their brown ale right now because I just love browns and I can never find them anymore, and theirs is really good.
It is really good.
And it's that time of year too. Nice, start to get into some nice darker beers. Yes.
Favorite. And then we have a keg at Free Play in Fort Worth, but they haven't tapped it yet. I've been watching their beer list to see, and I'm gonna announce it as soon as we tap it, but they just haven't quite yet.
And Free Play is a barcade, so.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
They're a huge chain down here. I think there's 7 locations now.
Oh wow.
So they're doing really good. Yeah.
And what do they have a keg of?
Hello, my name is Mel, which is our dry carbonated drink.
Yeah. And so
okay.
I think we gave them the idea of doing like some kind of a mead cocktail with it, so that might be something on their menu as well. So I'm just waiting to see what they come up with. So maybe here in a week or two, because they've had it for a sec.
Do they carry mead from any other places, or are they all individually like it's like a franchise thing where each location is kind of its own unique thing?
Well, there's one person that's in charge of ordering all the things for all the location, and that's the location we dropped on that and all that. He says if it does well there, then he'll spread out to others. So
cool.
And that's kind of where we're like, awesome, and we even told him like about the pickle mead coming out, and he was just like, oh, but it's gonna sell so well, so tell me when that comes in.
Exactly, it's gonna be so gimmicky and like you said.
It's also just really good. Like, I didn't think I was going to like it that much, but whenever we have it, I find myself just tapping it every time I'm at the meadery.
Yeah,
like I said, I just find myself wanting to be. I find myself wanting to be appalled by it. And like you said, when I tried it, it was definitely not appalling at all. It was. It's good stuff. It's just by nature, it just makes me like, I don't want to like that, but I do, and I for some reason don't like myself for it. What's happening? And Luke, appreciate you popping in there. My buddy Luke over there, Moco Asylum, appreciate him popping in there. Oh, Drinking Horn Meadery, always appreciate when you guys pop in as well.
Good dudes.
Yes. Yeah, Drinking Horn, those guys, talk about dry meads, those guys have everything they do is dry, and they do such a variety of stuff. So
nice.
I don't know if you've had many of their things, but they're definitely a resource to reach out to. Evan,
who runs the places. One of theirs I'm familiar with, so I just don't remember the name of it. Yeah. But I think it was a traditional, so.
Yeah, they got one that's called, they make a metheglin, and when they used to run their Monday night podcasts, it was funny, they were talking about meth spreading around the valley and everything like that. It was funnier than it should have been. but they make a really solid dry metheglin and stuff like that. So anybody out there who's also enjoys the dry style of Fox and Raven, give out a Drinking Horn a try.
But yeah,
thanks, y'all.
we got other than the pickle mead coming out,
Mm-hmm.
we're about to start a still Phantom of the Opera inspired mead. This is the one pomegranate, rose hips, and cardamom, and it is one of the driest meads we've ever made. So
that one, it's also one of the more complex tasting ones. It
Yes.
definitely it's I don't even know. Like we haven't had it in a while, but it's so crazy.
Like it hits right on the front with the pomegranate, and then like as you exhale, you get the cardamom and rose hip like at the same time, and it works very nicely.
It's one of those, if you let it sit, it'll like open up.
Yeah.
like a good wine. Like I'm really proud of that one. That's another one that I like had a big role in developing because I have like a deep love for Phantom of the Opera, like the story. And that's kind of one of the themes of our meads is like we a lot of times make meads inspired by stories, or we take a mead and we're like, you know what, this would go good with this book or this story, and we kind of like do the label that way and we have the name that way. This one's going to be called Down Once More. And the pomegranate, it's kind of an allusion to also the story of I'm nerding out right now.
Nerd out. Do it.
Persephone?
Yes, exactly. Persephone.
Yeah. Yes.
And kind of in the same way, if you know the story of the Phantom, Christine does go down to the lair of the Phantom, kind of in the same way that Persephone goes down to the underworld. So all of those little themes, I was thinking about starting a blog to like try to explain all this craziness that goes on in my head around these meads. So I might have to write like a little blog post about it.
And then just put a little QR code on the label. People can scan it, get the whole update and everything instead of having to have like a dissertation on the back of your labels. I love it.
And I can explain to them how I became obsessed in like 7th grade.
And put the whole story on there.
Yeah, I totally can. So I'm really excited about that one. I hope everybody else is going to be excited as I am about that one, because if not, I'll be very sad.
I'm excited for it already, especially since I'm getting ready to do a pomegranate mead, add some pomegranate to a mead I'm doing myself. And that brings up my buddy Luke here has a question. Seeds in or out during fermentation, or did you not ferment the pomegranate, or did you use just juice?
Pomegranate, but it's just the juice. The juice is a lot easier and more reliable to find, and then I don't have to do the mess of the seeds. And we just juice. Yeah.
But it wasn't primary.
Yes, primary. It gets fermented. Yes.
Gotcha. And did you back sweeten with any juice or just the honey? Wait, did you use a wildflower honey for that? Or
just wildflower. No, actually,
we changed it.
That's one of the few that we didn't use wildflower. That one is orange, but we do back sweeten with wildflower because the orange overpowers back sweeten with the orange. So.
Gotcha. That sounds like an interesting. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes out for when that one comes. And less hand strain. Yeah, definitely less hand strain from having to cut open 1,000 pomegranates, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I got like 40 pounds of pomegranates.
And I'm sitting here on 7 crates of prickly pears, processing that for another batch later on.
Have fun with that, pal.
Oh no, I've gone through 6 crates already, but like they came in various degrees of ripeness, so it's just been like those aren't, and then just chop up what I can. Yeah.
Dude, that had to be so frustrating. It's like I'm ready to go now, but I have to go pick and hunt through them, and then now you got to go back and turn what could have been a 18-hour project into 18 hours across like 7 days. Oh, that sounds frustrating as shit.
It's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, it's pacing me and it's fine. Like
there you go.
I'm not just sitting here like, okay, I've got to process 7 crates. This is 250 pounds of prickly pears.
Sure.
I have to do it all in one sitting. No, it's actually kind of better that it takes a little bit longer. So
the old how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time type of thing.
Exactly. And as long as they're still green and getting colored, that means they're still ripening. So there's no rush, But,
yes.
It's a lot of fruit to cut up.
I could only imagine what 7. Like I said, I got 1 crate. You've got 7. No, forget all of that. That sounds like like he says, hand strain. I'm cool, man. I don't need no carpal tunnel today.
I mean, you get. It's like anything in a kitchen or anything like that. You do enough stuff in a kitchen. You just like next thing you know, you're cutting it open. You got the fruit out in like 2 seconds. And
you develop a method and a process, and next thing you know, you're done.
Yeah. Like Savannah filmed me while I was cutting one of them, and then I looked back and like literally it took me 2 seconds to get the thing out of there. So,
Nice.
Yeah, you can fast at it.
yeah, because it's if you ever see them, they're kind of little cylindrical. So you just chop off the top, flip, chop off the bottom, and then do a slice down the middle, and then peel the skin off, and the fruit's underneath.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've never eaten. Did you try any of it while it was raw? I've never had it before. I don't know if you can. I'm assuming you can eat it.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty sweet.
There's just a buttload of seeds in there, which are safe to eat.
Oh.
But there's just a lot of them. Like in one little nibble, you'll get like 6 seeds.
What are we talking texture-wise of the seeds here?
Oh, they're rock.
Like,
they're rock hard. They're kind of like a pepper.
So like a
like peppercorn?
No. Yeah, they feel like peppercorns.
Or like grape seeds or something? They're harder than grape seeds, though?
I don't know if I've had a grape seed that I'm aware of, but they are pretty hard.
Wow. So they're definitely not, like, you can eat them, but that's something you would spit out like a watermelon seed?
Yeah, you can spit out or you can swallow. It's not going to harm you either way. So just preference. Yeah, they're small.
They're not big seeds.
Yeah, they're like pepper.
I love prickly pear candies, man. Whenever I go anywhere in Arizona, especially when I was living there, that sold like, it sucks. The only place you can find them is places that sell like touristy stuff, like Cracker Barrel or like truck stops and stuff. But they always have like prickly pear candy. There's this one that's like yellow package, and I always get them. They're like little, jelly chew candy things. But yeah, prickly pear. So I'm dying to try that one. Is that one going to be on the sweeter leaning side, or?
Yes, that one is definitely on the sweeter side, and that one we're probably going to do a carbonated version of it. So,
nice.
So we have plans to do a still prickly pear as well, but we wanted to get this one moving because we feel like we're a little bit behind. So we're going to go ahead.
What do you mean behind?
Well,
we only got 2 tanks.
Oh, you mean like as far as producing different, like a variety of flavors?
Yeah,
Yes.
we had plans to do fall flavors a little bit sooner, but we changed our schedule up a little bit, and this is the new lineup that's coming. So
why are you guys not using like 5-gallon buckets or the 6 or whatever like the brew buckets? Why are you guys using some like your homebrew equipment, or did you guys get rid of it all? I mean, because my understanding is you can still use some of that.
We can still use some of that, and we do when we're kind of in a tight. But it's so much easier and way less work to do it in the bigger tanks.
It's also a time issue with us because again we're working full time.
Both
so it's
working
like,
full time, yeah.
And doing markets on top of that. So we just got a little behind, and then we had some personal issues that came up because like they do. So just set us a little bit behind.
Life doesn't stop for work.
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Especially when you have 2 works, it definitely doesn't stop.
But we're
and 2 lives.
Fine. So that's why we decided to go with the carbonated prickly pear, so we can get it on a little bit faster. And that one is going to be called At Your Service, Comandante, which is a line from one of my favorite shows growing up, Zorro, which in Spanish Zorro means fox. Are you familiar with the Zorro character, right?
I'm definitely familiar with the Zorro character. I remember vaguely there was like a Zorro cartoon, and then of course Antonio Banderas movies, the Mask of Zorro and stuff. But other than that, not overly familiar, I wouldn't say.
Oh, I'm talking like black and white back in the day. Disney.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not. No, I mean, I'm familiar and aware, but definitely wasn't on too much watch any of that.
Yeah, and they're actually working on a new show too with Fez from that '70s show being Zorro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm not sure. I don't really care for Wilder Valderrama, but I'll at least give it a shot and check it out, see what it's like.
The thing is, he's nothing like the character he plays on that '70s show. Like, that's literally a character.
I just don't like him as a person.
All right, cool. Moving on.
Hey, I can separate people from what they do, though. Like I said, if it ends up being something that's definitely worth watching, I'll give it a shot. It sounds interesting. It certainly sounds like a unique or a refreshing take on something, because, people are always making, TV shows new again and everything. It's cool to see them go back to something that's that far to try to make it, breathe life into it, as opposed to something that's only like, 10 years old, like you see so much of anymore.
I'm excited because I feel like Zorro's one of those legends, one of those heroes, like almost like Batman.
Right.
Like you got to keep bringing him back. I want to keep seeing him, so I'm excited about it.
Right, and I guess that's kind of what I was getting at. It's cool to see some, characters from that you don't see being played out, I guess, because how many Spider-Man movies do we frickin' need, and at least with the Batman movies,
Even more.
they're
like,
always
double whip out there and I'll watch them all. Like, I like Spider-Man though. So.
You like all the Spider-Man. Well, it's not even that they're bad. It's the fact that they keep going back to the same, there's, in my opinion, like with the superhero things, like I was really a fan when they started doing some like more like niche and, less heard of characters and stuff. Like they had that Moon Knight series, and I thought that was cool. It's like, yeah, Spider-Man's awesome and everything, but like, can we add give other people a chance to shine too?
I mean, and that's where the whole like Into the Spider-Verse. It is still Spider-Man, it's just a different one. So, and that has a lot of rarer characters in it too. So
movies were fucking phenomenal,
right?
Yeah. I'm just happy they're not like doing the backstory every time. Like, okay, guys, we got it. We know how Spider-Man happened. We know how Batman happened. Just like good. Know the story.
Just next.
Turn to your nerdy friend. He'll tell you everything. Just keep going.
Happily.
Leave something to the comic books. If you need more, please reference your local comic book store.
Or watch any of the other movies that came before them. Next.
Yeah, exactly. Next time on to something else. So we had been originally scheduled till 6 o'clock. Do you guys have a little more time because we did get a late start, or?
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So you got the new bottles in the works. The one with the barrel aged one that you worked on with the barrel you got from Texas. Is there any chances of any other collabs from any Texas meaderies? Oh, one of the things I did want to talk about as well is when you went to your guys' experience when you went to Mead Stampede. How was that?
So that was
answer the collab question first, then the Mead Stampede question.
Okay, so for collabs with other Texas meaderies, not at this time. It's just because we haven't really reached out, and we're still trying to get our own flavors out there.
Sure.
So for right now, no. Not saying that it won't happen in the future. It's just not something we've looked into.
Understandable.
But we're open. If anybody's honestly, the collab with Sam kind of happened just because we were talking to him, and it was kind of like, it was his idea, if I'm being honest.
It was.
But we were super keen, and it ended up working out being awesome. So.
Yeah, and we learned a lot from him, and vice versa. So it's one of those like, if this is what collabs are like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Just to expand on that, what did the collab consist of? Just a collaboration of ideas, or did he actually come out here from the UK and put in some sweat equity into that?
No. So since we're overseas and we can't really like profit share or anything like that with it, the way it basically worked is we were talking online, we both got a base formula down, and then we shared. And then we kind of split the differences, and I made a first test batch because he didn't have an open fermenter at the time. I gave him my notes on it. He made a second test batch, and he gave me his notes. Made a third test batch. I did the third one, and then I was like, this is it. This is absolutely it. And then I don't think he made a fourth test batch. I think he's just like, okay, we're good. Because at that point, it was just fine-tuning. So once we had the set formula, we realized, like, hey, there's going to be regional differences, especially in honey. So, a UK wildflower is going to taste pretty different from a US or Texas wildflower.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so we realized that going in, but, like, generally speaking, the ratios and quantities of all the ingredients were the same. We both brewed it and got it ready to go at the same time, and we launched it both on the same day in the UK and the US. And what he made, he keeps all the profits. What me made, we keep all the profits, and we made clear that very upfront and all that. So
I'm gonna send a couple bottles just in case, like, we ever get to go over there. We can go and compare.
And just compare, yeah.
I'm really interested to see how close we got. So.
Did you guys use the same label art?
Yes.
Yes. He made some slight changes for like legal, things that they have over there that are different. But other than that, it's basically
as much as possible.
Yeah, the artwork is really the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
And on his, they put his logo on top, and ours on the bottom. So reversed.
Gotcha.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Just like little differences that make sense, but like the creamsicle that's on the front and all that, and all like the swirls and swishes, all the same.
Gotcha.
Technical.
Yes, swirls and swishes are technical terms. Thank you.
Okay.
Flourishes. We like to call them flourishes.
Flourishes. There we go.
What's going on? My dad just showed up. I always appreciate when my dad has time to stop by with his busy schedule.
Hi, Dad. I'm sorry. So, what was the second question other than collabs?
Mead Stampede.
Stampede. So you guys, it was like looked like it was like a last minute dash over to Oklahoma or up to Oklahoma real quick and got to just pop in. What was your whole experience? How was that like? Let us all in.
We're part of the judging.
Right.
Honestly, I didn't want to be part of it. I have no reason other than didn't want to. But we also we walked in. There was the same day they finished judging, so they've been drinking all day. Go figure. But we show up in their room that they're just relaxing and everything, and we just start hanging out and having fun and just sharing our mead, tasting some of their others, and that lasted 6 hours or something. It went on for a while.
It was really cool to meet a bunch of other mead makers and people who appreciate it, and sharing bottles, sharing flavors, getting people's feedback and notes in real time was really cool. I also was pleasantly, this is gonna sound so silly, but I have to say it. I was very pleasantly surprised that there were so many women there. Oh. I was very, very happy. So that was a really cool experience for me. I was really super scared it was gonna be one of two women.
No, there was definitely a fair amount there.
Yeah.
Now,
so that was really
was Garrett and BC, were their wives there?
I didn't see either of them that I know of. Because I think
so. There's other mead making women, other mead maker chicks, ladies, gals.
Yes, other mead making gals.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I'm assuming Mandy was there from Faywood. Was Stephanie there from Poor Decisions?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't. Yeah.
Whether we did a
Blonde
lot of
girl
drinking.
glasses.
No, not that I recall.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But cool. I'm glad that there was.
Like Savannah said, we did a lot of drinking.
And we met a lot of new people.
A lot.
There are some people I'm definitely going to have to relearn your names next year. I apologize.
Yeah. Hey, don't take it personally. I'm terrible with names.
But we had a great time. We got to do, some stuff outside of mead making, just basically hang out with everybody. And then we were sponsors of the event, of the award ceremony. So we attended the award ceremony and again, just really got to hang out, talk to people, different. We talked to homebrewers and we talked to YouTubers and we talked to people who were about to begin their commercial mead journey, and it was just a really cool mix of people. And we've never been to Oklahoma City before, and I would definitely go back just for funsies.
Yeah, just for funsies.
Oklahoma City was awesome.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun and a lot of very unique and very arty places. It was pretty awesome.
And they have a ton of good breweries there too. There's a ton of good breweries in Oklahoma City.
We came across Cross Timbers. We came across Prairie.
They say Prairie's there.
Yeah.
Prairie Artisan Ales. Those guys are huge and they make some really good stuff.
I mean, we can get them here in Texas. So when I saw them, I was like, oh, they're from out of state?
Yeah, they're almost nationwide. Yeah, Prairie does some really cool stuff. My favorite one from them was a place called Cloud City. Oh, now I can't remember what it was. It was Cloud something there, and it was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we were there for I think 2 nights, and I think we went to 4 different breweries during that time. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, and we drank a whole bunch of mead too.
It was just a party. It was definitely
I mean, we made good friends.
Awesome.
Nice just putting faces to people on Discord and all throughout the mead community in general. It's just. Yeah, it's just it was all in all, it was pleasant, and we will be back next year.
Honestly, I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I got out of it.
Now, did you guys have any meads in the competition, or have you entered any of your meads into competitions since you've been going commercial? I know you've not had a lot of different your flavor profiles are just getting built up right now. So
for Mead Stampede, it was a homebrew only, which actually we're finding a lot of the competitions are, which is fine.
And commercial competitions are expensive.
They can be, for sure.
They can be, but we put 5 in Valkyrie's Horn this last competition. We didn't win anything, but we got some pretty good scores and some pretty good feedback, so not complaining about that. Our 2 highest scores were they were for Tropical Snowstorm and it was for Desdemona, which is our strawberries and cream carbonated. And then the pickle meat. Those two both got the highest scores at 39.
Wow, nice.
So, yeah, I'm not complaining. Like, we got good feedback and everything, and it's just we don't enter competitions to win medals because we don't really care. We just do it to get good feedback and get input. Like, it's nice to win a medal or two, don't get me wrong, but like, it's not something.
Well, Desdemona did win third place at.
Oh yeah, Texas Mead Cup last year.
Cool. Yeah. So
that won third place. That was the first competition we ever entered. It was like, oh, we're on to something.
Yeah, I agree with Tony, man. If you can get two meads that produce 39s at a competition, that's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah. So I'm not complaining about any of the scores, and I think the lowest score we got was a 36 out of all the 5 that we entered. So I'm good. I'll take those scores.
Yeah, man. 3.6 out of 5. That's a solid score all day long.
Yep.
So what's coming up next for you guys? What's coming down the pipeline? Should we be expecting more batches of different flavors? Are you going to be just trying to continue to build up where you're already at? Somebody quitting their job and going full time?
Oh. Yeah. She wants to. We're getting there because I've actually there's rumors I may be getting a promotion at my day job, which will help a lot.
I'm just waiting. I've got a box underneath my desk, and I'm just like, let me know. I'm just like text message and throwing everything in there and waving it back my box on the way out.
Yeah. But other than that, we've been slowly getting bigger and bigger and doing bigger and bigger batches. Like we talked about this time, our tanks are variable volume, so you can put as little as 30 gallons all the way up to 160 gallons. The lid is adjustable, so you don't have wasted head space, which is nice. But we're getting the pickle meat will be our first time actually filling a tank all the way to the top. That'll be and so that's been one of our business goals, and a little bit over a year for that to happen is actually pretty good. But since we've started selling to a few bars and businesses and all that, like, we've been going through product faster, which is great. So
nice. Definitely one of our goals is to get more kegs, get into more places, do more big events. I like doing the big event. One of my favorite events was doing a Celtic festival at our island game. So doing more of those events. So if anybody knows of anything like that, like shoot me in a message, because I want to find more of those things.
And this last weekend, one of the events we did was a miniature Ren fair that I don't remember what it was.
It was a business park / apartments. The whole neighborhood is really cool. They're actually kind of King Arthur themed. Like all of the streets are like King Arthur themed names, and they've got turrets at the beginning of their neighborhood. I kind of want to live there, low key.
Yeah. I mean, they literally have street names that are like, this is Camelot, this is Lady of the Lake Drive, things like that.
Super chill. So one of their apartment / business parks decided to do a little Renaissance fair, and they had archery, axe throwing, braiding, and then they had us as mead vendors. They had jugglers. It was a small Renaissance festival, but it was really cool. And of course, if you've ever seen our booth, we come correct for the Ren Fair every time.
That was one of the things I was going to mention. Anybody who's seen any of their stuff, these guys come dressed up to whatever needs to be. I mean, as little or as completely done up as they need to be, they'll meet the occasion.
Oh yeah. It was cool too, because we weren't the only one. Usually we're the only ones. We're the only ones out.
Yeah, we get weird looks, especially if it's our first time at a new market that we get to. People are just looking over their shoulders, what are they doing?
I don't even notice anymore.
Well,
I don't either, but I still look for it because I just like that confusion that we get.
There's one market I've seen you guys at where you've met another guy who shows up. He's out there completely all decked out in his stuff. I'm waiting for the collab with whatever he's selling.
Ooh. I
don't know. He's got feathers, and he's got really cool looking eye makeup on.
Oh, that's Russell. That's our friend.
He was volunteering at our booth.
Yeah.
Oh. So of course he fits in because he's volunteering with you guys. Yeah, I was say whatever he's doing, he's right in your guys' alley. I'm surprised you don't have
he was definitely being a barker out there, getting people to our booth. That dude knows what he's doing. So yeah.
Yeah, but there are a couple of people who do, I think, do dress in a theme. I just recently met a vendor. I think their booth is called Paper Lion. They do like
Yes.
jewelry and things like that. And she has kind of like a gypsy, like caravan kind of a motif, and she definitely like dresses the part as well. So we've gone
going on.
Yeah, and like I say we, but it's me. I go over there and we trade like style tips and things like that.
Right.
So maybe we're starting a trend where people are going to dress up to match their boots.
Right, please. It's that
it.
extra layer. And the other thing is, since we go in our Ren Fair garb
Yeah.
to these things, like we have a built-in audience. Because almost anyone who's been to a Ren Fair or dresses up to go to a Ren Fair, like we've seen them just like walk, look, and then head straight to us. You know?
Well, my goal is to stand out as much as possible and
Yes.
get people just coming over to talk about my outfit, and then all of a sudden they leave with a bottle of mead and they're probably like, what just happened?
No!
Well, you usually have like cool things in your hair, and you're wearing like neon, like this like neon green looking cool outfit. So you definitely usually stand out. So I'm sure you're not hard to spot.
This is my TK can't see me, but this is my crown that I usually wear with all of my bells, literally bells, no whistles, but it stands out. So,
yeah.
No, I'm here for it.
It's part of my sales pitch, honestly.
Plus, honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, in the Texas summer, the clothes we wear are very light and breezy, so
nice linen clothes and stuff.
Yeah, it's almost needed. So, I do see that Steven asked the question: who manufactures the variable volume
I was
tank?
just gonna go.
Right? Yeah. They're from the manufacturer Latina. They're actually in Texas, but they don't sell directly, so you have to buy from somewhere else.
Yeah, our Texas tank from Washington.
Oregon.
Oregon. Same general area, but it was funny. It was, I say funny, but I was a little mad.
Yeah, they got shipped from Texas to Oregon and then right back to Texas. Like,
and we paid for that ship from Oregon.
Those variable volume tanks are so awesome. I don't know if anybody's seen them or who those cats who haven't seen them. It's a, I can't get my arms as big around as they are, but the lid on them has like this inner tube that goes around it. It reminds me of like the inside of like a bicycle tire. And you can set the lid at the height that you need. So if you're only doing 30 gallons, you just drop it way down there. Now, to be fair, it does get kind of a bitch if you have to reach down there and it's kind of low, but you have that option of going that low or all the way up to the full 150 gallons. Those are
I've actually found out recently, like they actually float on top of the liquid. So you don't
for real?
actually have to like hold it and like guess. You can literally just let it drop all the way down, and then it's there. And then you just pump in place, and there's like no air at all. So it's actually incredibly nice. Now, you don't want to do that during active fermentation because expansion and all that. But like once active fermentation is over, just like you can lower it down and you're good. So
if you want to see our tanks, we have like tour videos on our TikTok and possibly back in our Instagram, but
they're going to be pretty far back at this point, at least a year, because that's about when we started, right?
Yeah, but we don't have that many videos.
All right.
And as always,
down there,
Steven, I'm sure if you gave these guys a quick message or something, they would, respond within due time, because remember, they are both working full-time jobs.
Yeah. And right now we have one tank empty, so if you want any pictures or views of it, reach out to us. We'll find something to get you. Because next week, this weekend, we're definitely going to be starting that batch of down once more. So,
any bright tanks in the future for large-scale carbonation?
God, I wish. I really wish.
God, I wish.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, eventually.
Yeah, because right now I'm just draining stuff out of the tanks into corny kegs, chilling them overnight, and then force carving them by shaking for about 6 to 10 minutes, depending. And it works. Is it a little annoying? Sure, but you know what? It's manual labor that I'm not paying myself an hourly wage. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're reinvesting all of the money we make. That's why we're doing bigger batches. We're able to get kegs to sell to businesses, et cetera, so on. So, all that overhead money is just going right back into the business.
That's why I'd have to agree with the people that you've talked to. When you at the beginning when you were saying, when you go talk numbers with the people who have that, have that little knowledge that you trust with that information and everything. If they're telling you're doing it right, I would rather see somebody grow at a pace that you guys are growing at than somebody who's having to get, $300,000 worth of investments, get 8 bright tanks and all these, variable fermenters and all this stuff, and have all these expectations. You guys are doing it your way. And to be honest, I think that's a way that's really achievable for a lot of people. You're not starting out with anything that's like ridiculously unachievable for somebody who's on, a budget, so to speak. I mean, because it's called what it is. You guys are, like you said, you're working 2 jobs. You're still doing your own thing. You're budgeting. You're trying to do with what you have, and you seem to be doing phenomenally at it. So I think you guys are an inspiration for a lot of home brewers who are looking to go
we're doing
commercial.
Pretty good. Like the first couple of months we were open, before we started doing markets, I was working overtime every weekend just to cover the rent on the facility. And yeah, I mean, because we just weren't making that much money. And once we figured out, the market situation, and now that we're known, like some markets reach out to us, be like, hey, you want to go here? It's like, we'll give it a try, sure. And which is cool that people are reaching out to us now.
Right.
But it's all been very slow. It's all been organically growing, but like it's not unachievable.
It's one of those things where you're working so hard, you're just doing things, and if you just take a moment to like look up and kind of look back behind you and see how far you've come, it's kind of amazing.
Right.
So
yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's been a really
100%.
Yeah, really cool first year, I think. I'm not mad about it.
Oh no, it's a very good first year, and the second year is already doing phenomenally better. So yeah, I mean, we just bought 6 buckets of honey like it was nothing, which is very weird,
right?
Compared to where we started.
When initially that would have been something that was like, holy cow, this is a purchase.
Yeah, it's like 2 buckets, please. Ouch, my wallet. And now it's like, yes, 6 buckets, please.
Yeah, credit card used to come off hot and smoking, and now it doesn't even feel it.
Right? Yeah. It's very nice. The meadery itself has been paying for itself. Good. Shortly after we started doing all the markets and getting regular customers. So I haven't had to work overtime in like
he says that, while. But he's just working all the overtime in meadery now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like working overtime.
Right. Dude, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, there's nothing more rewarding than actually being in the business you want to be in.
Yeah.
Like every bottle you sell, like, yes. And for Savannah, every bottle she sells a piece of art with it that she made.
Right. And that's got to feel good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Tony's asking, how much is a bucket of honey there? Windflower. I'm assuming he means wildflower, unless there's some sort of cool flower called windflower I've never heard of.
The windflower.
The windflower.
Yeah,
I'm guessing wildflower buckets are going. Are we talking 5? We're talking 5-gallon pails here, right?
Yes, yeah, 5 gallons. So
I'm guessing we're going with.
On average, about 220 at wholesale prices.
220.
220 at wholesale, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable. I mean,
and I mean that because we had to switch honey providers because one of them, the one that we were using that we really liked, moved out of state, and including all of their they had. So it was like, okay, so that's not an option anymore. Right. So
who you guys end up going with?
Walker Honey Farms, which is just outside. Yeah. Their honey, like, it's different than the honey we got before, which is fine, that's expected. But like the honey that we put in this batch of Mel, it's more floral, which I was not expecting, but like it works really nicely. Nice. So yeah, so we got that and like all the other stuff, and they always have various varietals there too.
Yeah.
So we just got some. What did we get? Orange blossom from?
Yeah, we got orange blossom and Texas wildflower.
Nice.
3 of each bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually stopped at their place not too long. Actually, after I stopped at your guys' place, because they're farther south from you guys.
About 2 hours.
And I picked up a gallon of their Guajillo honey, and yeah, those guys have a selection of honey. They make some great meads there themselves. So I'm really happy to see you guys found a really nice partner in your honey supplier.
Yeah, and they always seem to never blink whenever I ask them for honey. Like even stuff they don't have to, like they're like, oh, sorry, we're sold out of orange blossom. But like if I send the correct person an email, I'm like, hey, do you have like this many buckets of orange blossom? And they're like, let me check. Yeah, we do. I'm going to put them on hold for you. It's like, awesome.
Right. Dude, I'm so happy that you guys found a really good supplier to work with. That's very cool.
I mean, the downside is I have to take a drive down there and back, but I mean, that's 4 hours round trip. And
Yeah.
oh no, I get to stop at a Buc-ee's along the
I was
way.
gonna say.
You know what? Actually, I'll have to see if I can find where it was at. I don't know, but there was a restaurant that we all went to, the family and they were down there serving. It was like totally country. It had like gator and snake and all sorts of crazy stuff on the menu, but it was really good. I was really
I was like, I'll
pleasantly
try
surprised.
anything once. So
Yeah, yeah. I'll shoot you because it was like within 5 minutes from there because we were staying right there at the farm
right.
when you drove through. But yeah, holy cow, man, that's freaking awesome. I'd really like to see some like monofloral traditionals or something come from you guys, especially now that you're working with that meadow foam honey. That would be really cool.
Oh, yeah, but that meadow foam's expensive. At this point, like, I haven't ever fermented meadow foam. I've only really used it as back sweetener because it's just so good. Like, I'm kind of afraid to see what will happen, but at the same time, I'm intrigued. So
Right.
my curiosity brain is like, do it, and my my wallet brain is like, no.
Meadow foam honey goes really well with bourbon barrel aging as well.
And yeah, and that's what we did with the Whitby mead that we got coming out. It was
You said whiskey barrel aged?
Yeah, it's whiskey barrel aged, Marion berries. It's a Bochet along with the meadow foam to back sweeten.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm here for that. I'm gonna definitely be finding a way to make it happen when those bottles come out.
All right, well, let you know.
Yeah. Well, you won't have to let me know. I'll see it online. I mean, unless you want to let me know ahead of time, that's cool. Otherwise, I follow you. I see everything you post when it comes out.
Oh yeah, good.
All right. Well, we're definitely approaching the 1 hour mark today, and I've got dinner cooking in the background, so I'm going to have to let you guys go today. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Anybody who's not following Fox and Raven already, hit them up on the Instagram here. I don't know why you haven't already, because these cats are definitely doing some cool, big things, especially in the Renaissance Fair world over there in Texas. Thank you guys very much. I always appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Thanks.
TK.
And thank you very much for this bottle of Blood is Gold. Also, hit them up on Vino Shipper. Go buy some bottles because you're doing yourself a disservice by not trying their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And have fun at your guys' markets. And I'll be in touch. We'll definitely do this again. I love having you guys on.
I appreciate you. Love having you around.
Thank you guys.
Interview? Yes.
All right.
I just love talking and hanging out regardless of how it is because you guys are great people in general.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Everybody, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Night.
All right. So thank you to the cats there at Fox and Raven. Always love those cats, Bryce and Savannah, some great people. Like I said, if you're not following them already, make sure you start doing that. Go hit them up on the Vino Shipper. They have some phenomenal meads. This Blood for Gold is definitely one you need to try if you're into pineapple hibiscus, and especially if you're into still meads and all that stuff. So next week, I should be talking with, I don't have my calendar in front of me, unfortunately I never do, but I believe it's my man Eric from Asir Meadery up in Everett, Washington. I've been trying to get a hold of this guy. Well, him and I have been trying to link up for probably about 2 years now, almost since I started this journey. So I'll definitely be having another one next Wednesday. I will see you guys then. You guys are very welcome in the comments there. Hey, no, thank you guys for showing up and giving me your time today because it's more valuable than mine. So thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.